In this video, Chelsea creates a new circuit at Sardegna. We get pushed out wide at Monza. And in race C, it's Grand Valley Highway, and somebody absolutely gets it wrong at the hairpin. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023. Week 48, and it's Genesis week. Of course, Genesis are revealing their Vision Gran Turismo car at the World Finals this weekend, which does mean that PD are putting a bit of a favour on Genesis this week. First up in the background, we have the G70 at Sardegna Layout C in reverse, i.e. the tie test check I do in terms of the car profiles. What exactly are we doing here? Well, we're doing 8 laps. It's a grid start with a full start check, sport hot tyres, and of course, BOP is on, although you can add a wing and add a livery and do all the nice stuff that you would like to do. Now, if you don't want to do this race or you're not interested in this race, there are some timestamps in the background for you. However, we did do this race and we had some fantastic racing. Let's jump to it now. Let's have a look at exactly what happens, and I'll tell you how to do a good lap here at Sardegna. Right, here we are then at the start, and everyone in the Genesis, of course. Chelsea starting pole position. So Chelsea wanted to get away from me and not actually do the horn, although somebody else is doing the horn. Right, so with a grid start with full start check, I hold the handbrake here. As the red lights go out, I let go of that, and I've got traction control on one, which you do need because it does spin its wheels a teeny tiny bit at the start. Right, so let's head towards turn 1 and these stupid horns. You see me smiling there because I know people are trolling me with those horns now as we go into turn 1. And quite a settled turn 1, to be honest. You won't get this every single race here because that is a sharp turn 1, which does mean a lot of punting will happen. However, this race is clean as you like there through turn 1. Happy days. Well played, absolutely everybody here. And as we go up the hill, this is where it gets sketchy, of course. The walls are going to come really close to the track. Very easy to hit the wall on the left-hand side right there. And as we go into this right there, so we're looking down the inside there. Mario Sonic just loses the rear end a little bit, as does MGT up ahead as well. We're still side by side. Still, nobody has died here as we go into this right-hander. So it's going for a bit of a cutback then. As we go through here, MGT just off in the gravel. I decided to give Mario Sonic a bit of a bump draft here to get by here and at least make one position. Now, it's actually quite difficult to overtake here in terms of this car. You're waiting for others to make mistakes because it's quite a fast-flowing circuit with only one real hard braking zone as we go through the right-hander and boot on out of here. Now, this car is all-wheel drive. It does mean you can boot it and you won't really suffer from oversteer. The only time you get oversteer in this car is from the weight transfer as we go up here, and Hodgson into the barrier then up ahead in that P5 position as we go into the right-hander here. Second time of asking here. 8 laps, quite a significant amount of laps here in terms of this race. It does mean you can have some quite good racing for quite a while here as we go on the inside of Phil then and gain another place here up into P7, following Mario Sonic through the field here as we go hard on the brakes. And you just saw that weight transfer there on Mario Sonic's car as we went into that braking zone. Very easy to get that one wrong as well. I'll explain that in the guide. Lap number 3, the same right-hander again, of course. We've seen 2 overtakes here already as, Hodgson just clips the grass a little bit here and a slight tap on the rear. I thought Hodgson was going over a bit more there. That was just my bad there completely. So apologies for this minor tap, should I say, there on you as we go into the braking zone and slowing it down nicely. Everyone's still very close here. Shows you can have some close racing, and this car does actually feel pretty good, to be honest with you. It's like road cars have had a significant improvement in GT7 over GT Sport and the start of GT7. They are starting to feel better and better, and how I would expect them to feel. This car does feel weighty, and I expect it to feel weighty. It's very much an executive saloon, I would say, as we go into the braking zone and looking down the inside of Hodgson. Are we going to get it stopped? We do. Hodgson gets it stopped as well. Defends that position very nicely indeed there into turn 1. Well played, mate, as we continue on to the next lap here, the end of lap number 4. Going on to lap number 5. We're in the same position at this time. We're going to try and brake that tiny bit later to try and get on the inside then. We just have a tiny bit of an overlap as we look to slow the car down. We're side by side going into here. We're going to leave this corner still side by side. Gotta leave a bit of room there. And we're up into P6 temporarily here, but Hodgson is trying to keep that position as we go into the right. We're just trying to pull ahead now, and there we go. We are ahead, although we're going to have to take a bit of a weird line here. Bit of oversteer there. Through the right we go, and we do keep that position. So towards the end of the lap, then we catch up to Inferno Fox, who's got a Liquid Molly livery on. I'm assuming this is in relation to a V8 supercar, or I don't really know. Going into turn 1, Inferno Fox there goes a bit too deep. We'll take that one. Thank you very much, Inferno Fox. Inferno Fox part of TCR, as is Hodgson. Lots of TCR in this lobby as we go into this right-hander. Sonic's not in this one this week. Sonic's feeling ill, so get well soon, Sonic. I was wondering where you were. So, yeah, get well soon. Sonic, they're going off. Indicate to let me go through. There was a comment about indicating. Should you or should you not indicate? That's the perfect time to indicate. You're going very slow there. You don't want to surprise the person behind because you just made a mistake. That's a good place to indicate. You shouldn't have to indicate where you want to go if you're in a racing situation, of course, because you're racing. It's up to the person to understand where you want to go and for you to position your car accordingly to defend against them. Right, Shelty just got it a bit wrong there on lap number 7 as we go into here. Bit of oversteer then. In towards the left we go. Hard on the brakes. I'm going to take a wide line here compared to Shelty. Try and get the run on Shelty through the corner as we head on towards the final lap then. So, me versus Shelty. Shelty's dropped from pole position. Chicken Angel, part TCR, of course, literally leading the way there with a huge gap as well. Showing some pace there as we get closer to Shelty. We're going to look down the inside of Shelty then as we head towards turn number 1. We try and outbrake Shelty. We were just on the brakes that tiny bit later then as we go into this corner. I dropped a second gear to slow the car down with that engine braking. But look how close this racing is. And look at Shelty defend that position. What a defensive move that is. Awesome play there, Shelty. Really, really was. As we go up the hill and round we go. Is Shelty going to be able to keep the position? That is the question as we go into the right-hander and then into the left. Shelty, a bit of oversteer. Hits the brakes. Don't do that. If you've got oversteer in this car, the weight will just continue going over and send you left to Narnia. And that is where Shelty ends up there. Thank you so much, Shelty, for the position. But sorry to see you end up on your little journey there. Your little quest. Your little adventure to the sand. But that's going to be it in terms of race A in the race. I say you can have some good racing here, but lower down in the driving splits, you are going to see a lot of dives and a lot of contact, should I say. Right, heading towards turn 1, you brake as the pit line meets the white dashed line there that I've highlighted on the left-hand side. Perfect brake marker for this. Now, you can abuse the engine braking in this car, and some people do this. I'm not going to abuse it that much, I don't believe. I'm just braking as I normally would, drop into 4th gear, then I'm going to drop to 3rd gear. There we go, so I'm not abusing it at all then. It's going to get a little bit of oversteer there as I go through the corner, but nothing major. And 3rd gear on exit, it's all-wheel drive. It picks up power very quickly indeed, and you do rev this car to the end of the bar there. So up into 5th gear. Now, you want to keep the car as straight as possible through here, okay? And that's my goal, keep it as straight as possible. I lift off a little bit, but not fully there to maintain that speed through the corner as we head to the next braking zone. And we've got this white marker, the road layout. It is a road circuit, essentially. And literally there, the end of the white is where you're going to brake, okay? Now, you kind of look to try and brake towards the curb, which is a bit further on, but that's where you're going to start pushing your limits a little bit. And you do have to be careful about pushing the limits here. I get a bit of oversteer, which allows the car to clip the inside there and accelerate through. You will suffer a bit of understeer, as I do there as well on exit, and what we saw in the race as well. Head towards the final couple of corners then. Through the right we go. I've just hooked the tyre on the inside, and I've just stopped it here. Yes, there is no marker. However, I want you to brake a little bit in a straight line. You need to prepare for the last corner. Going hard and aggressive into this last corner is not going to do you any good on the start-finish straight. You want to prepare for that corner. Sacrifice speed on this left-hander. Get it as far left as possible. And then as you hit the brakes here at the end of the curve, as you can see I'm doing here, you're going to stay in 3rd gear, but it gives you so much better of an angle to go onto the start-finish straight. It allows you to carry so much more speed. This is the optimum line. This is the fastest line, so make sure you take this line. If you go in too tight, you're going to understeer off, going to not carry any speed at all, and this is the way to do it as we leave that corner then. Try not to clip the gravel on exit. I do that a couple of times in some of these laps, but I'm going to head there, and we're going to get a 1 minute 3.006. Not quite a 1 minute 2, which I was really after, but I didn't quite have the time to get that. Well, that is it for race A. We're in race B already here, and if you can't already tell, we are at Monza. Of course, we're at Monza. What are we doing then here at Monza? If you can't already tell, it's Group 4. We're doing 4 laps. It's a rolling start, and you can adjust that brake balance, and that is about it in terms of that. Group 4 does mean when there's any form of straight line speed, the Mazda 3 is going to come on top here, and that's the car I chose in that TCR livery. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, and let's see how it compares versus the Bugatti Veyron. Right, here we are then at the start. We got Mazda 3, the Veyron, and we got a 458 in there as well. Toyota Supra behind me. I wasn't sure about that choice here. And if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. We've got a big special coming up. Live streams are returning, and it's going to be all good going into 2024. Turn 1 as well is actually quite good here for Monza. You won't get that every single race, I can tell you that much for free. There was one incident, and we'll have a look at that in the bloopers. We are now racing a McLaren 650S. That is actually quite a good choice here, to be honest with you. If you don't like the FF cars, it is a good car to go for, but you're just seeing here how fast and how dominant this Mazda 3 actually is there as we go past that Fina McLaren. as we head in towards the braking zone. Then we've got Mazda 3 on our outside here. We've got Veyron up ahead of Inferno Fox. We go into here side by side through the right-hander we go and continue on out. Slight taps here as we get back on circuit side by side then with Darius as we head towards this right-hander. Darius just pushes me off into the grass there. I wasn't happy with that at all, really, to be honest with you. And Chelsea's going to get on my inside. So I do flash my lights here a little bit just to say, right, mate, I'm not really happy with that one. You didn't give me much space at all there. We'll have a look at that one in the bloopers as we continue on through there with Shelty taking lead then in this TCR train of Mazda 3s. A two-car train here, of course. It's like a DMU. If you don't know what a DMU is, don't worry about it. It's just a train term. Let's head towards the next lap then. We're up ahead. They are 3 wide. It's a Ferrari, a Mazda 3 and a Veyron. And I say to Shelty, you go for it, mate. You go join them. There we go. I'll sit back, relax and watch the carnage unfold. Oh, will I? It's not McLaren comes steaming in behind there. Taps the Ferrari. No carnage, actually. Everybody survives this very well indeed. Really well played to each and every driver there as we continue on out of here. Shelty, I think, spun his wheels up a tiny bit there because we are coming alongside Shelty then as we go into the Curva Grande here. As we head towards the second chicane then. Can we get ahead? Shelty's in that slipstream, should I say. As we head in towards this next braking zone, Shelty doesn't decide to bump draft the Ferrari then as we go into here, and I'm looking to take that position then from Shelty. Thank you very much, mate, as we continue on through here. Inferno Fox gets it slightly wrong as well. Going to be a victim then towards that Ferrari. The Ferrari goes down that inside line and is going to get the job done versus Inferno Fox. That Veyron struggling here, and you are seeing a Mazda beat a Bugatti in a straight line. You don't see this very often, do you? Well, you're about to see it again, actually, as we go through the right-hander. Inferno Fox just goes slightly off here, and we're going to sweep on by here of that Bugatti Veyron. No problems whatsoever, and we are up another place. So we're going to start lap number 3 then behind this Ferrari. Again, a Mazda versus Ferrari. Who would say a Mazda is quicker? Well, we're doing Gran Turismo right now as we go on the inside of that Ferrari and head towards turn number 1. Then the chicane here. Look for that 150 board. Hard on the brakes. And there we are. We're already past there. And we're looking up ahead. We've got Darius and we've got a French driver in a Ferrari and another Veyron actually in this one. So we're going to advance further on here. Oh, actually, we're going to fast forward here as we head towards the next chicane then. So they're side by side up ahead. I think that's the Mazda 3 getting ahead of the Ferrari. Oh, the Ferrari gets all sorts of oversteer then. And what we're going to do is accelerate towards the Ferrari, get on the inside of that Ferrari, and hopefully we're going to get past the Ferrari. And there we have it indeed, up into P7 as we continue on through here. Now, can we catch up to Darius and get back past Darius, should I say, after earlier on being just pushed us a little bit wide there. So we fast forward once again. We're going to head towards Ascari here as Darius was looking on the inside of that Veyron. Doesn't quite work out here. And through Ascari we go. A short shift to 4th gear. We're going to try and get on the inside of that curb very quickly. Beat it out and out of here with as little wheel spin as possible. Darius goes towards our left-hand side. We go towards the right. Then we've actually got the slipstream of the Veyron as well. So this is like a double win for us here as we head towards the parabolic here then. We are nearly by here. Are we going to get it done? Are we going to get it stopped? Just past the 100 board there. We hard on the brakes. And we go around the corner and we are ahead. Although that Mazda 3 is coming back to me. Has a much better line through the parabolica and is going to be closer for the slipstream as well. We get the fastest lap there as we head towards the final lap. Turn number 1. Darius is on the inside. We're going to go hard on the brakes. We have brake Darius then in towards turn 1 and we do get it stopped. So we are into that dreaded P6 then as we continue on through. Now, the Veyron gets a good exit here, but not good enough because we're in a Mazda, of course. And the Mazda, as we all know, is faster than a Bugatti. So we're going to go towards that outside line. Yes, this is on the outside line. We are out-dragging a Bugatti. It's insane saying it, really, isn't it? But we're going to head towards the chicane then. We are by that Bugatti then. And we're going to wave goodbye as we go in towards the chicane. They are going to try it around the outside. It doesn't ever work there, really. And there we go. Bye-bye, Bugatti. We'll continue on towards the end of the race then, where we're going to come home in P5. Congratulations to Hodgson there. Getting the win. That's TCR wins. 2 out of 2 so far. Let's see what we can do in the third one. But yeah, Mazda 3 is dominating there, although Veyron won. But the Mazda 3 definitely the car to go for here. I will say that right now. So we're going to go into a track guide of Monza. You've seen this track guide many times, but it's just a reminder for those that are unsure. And if you're new to the channel, hey, these are the brake markers for you. 150 board is your brake marker for turn 1 in a Group 4 car at Monza on racing hard tyres. I've highlighted there on the left. Very easy, very obvious brake marker. So use that on the left-hand side. Sometimes in cars, it's just before it. I'm on it here in the Mazda 3. And what I'm looking to do here is straight line this as much as possible. You do have to be careful of penalties, though. The reason for that is I need to straighten the wheel as much as possible on exit to avoid wheel spin and hitting the limiter, okay? And that's what you've got to try and do in this car. Avoid hitting the limiter, but maximizing your speed. As we head towards the next chicane then, on the right-hand side, so it's past the 150 board. It's why I've just stopped it here a little bit, just so you can see this. There is a red painted fence there on the right-hand side. That is your brake marker for the second chicane. And once again, you're trying to straight line this chicane as much as possible while avoiding penalties. Now, you can cut a little bit more of the left. You just have to be careful on the right about cutting. See there, I hit the sausage instead. And it does cost me 2 or 3 attempts that because I avoided the sausage. You do want to go over it a little bit, and then you will gain even more time there. Heading towards this right-hander then, you got the 50 board on the left-hand side. That is my brake marker in Group 4 here at Monza for Lesmo 1. And essentially, you're just trying to get on the inside line here. So start off wide and come in and keep it tight until you see the next marker that I'm about to point out to you. So there we go, slowing the car down nicely. And what I'm looking for here is that piece of tarmac there. It's like an escape road there here on this corner. And that's your accelerating marker. Now, I highly recommend you stay in 4th gear for these corners in the Mazda 3. The reason for that is 3rd gear can be slightly quicker sometimes, but you're just going to hit the limiter most of the time. Whereas 4th gear is like 0.1 of a temp slower, and therefore it's I can't even say it. It's not worth it going to 3rd gear, essentially. Right, next corner. We are looking at the 50 board or the tree. Use either of these as your brake marker for the next Lesmo, okay? So we're going to go into here, and you want to really do touch the inside curb here in this car. It will just force it around a little bit. It just does a bit of a weight transition there, and you notice there it allows the car to turn a bit more as we accelerate through. We're going to have fast forward here towards Ascari. Now for Ascari, we're looking on the right hand side here for that red painted barrier, or once again an escape road on the right hand side. Okay, and these are your brake markers for Ascari. Now, you can drop to 3rd gear here and do a bit of Ascari in 3rd. You want to leave it in 4th gear, though, at the very end of it. Obviously, it's a couple of corners here, not just the one corner. So, sometimes you want to stay in 4th. I do 3rd gear to slow it down a little bit here. Short shift to 4th gear. I'm actually using a lot of the curb here, so I had to adjust mid-corner and then use the curb on the left-hand side to accelerate out here. Once again, we're going to fast forward now all the way towards the parabolica. And what we're looking for is on the left-hand side. We're looking for the 100 board right there. You can use markers on the right, of course. There's a lamppost there, but the 100 board is very easy, very obvious. And that's what I'm going to use for the parabolica. It's after I just passed that, so after it leaves the screen, okay, that's when I'm going to hit the brakes here in this car. Now, for the parabolica, sometimes you want to do it in 3rd, sometimes you want to do it in 4th. It depends how much speed you can carry. So I'm in 3rd gear right now, and what I'm looking for is that lamppost on the right-hand side, okay? That is my accelerating marker. You pass the first one as you go into the corner. The very first one then, while you're on the curb, is your accelerating marker. There's one after this with an orange painted barrier there as well, which you can use, but you want to accelerate as early as you can to maximize the speed. And that's what I do there by short shifting to 4th gear and accelerating towards the line. Now, you can cut a lot of the inside here to maximize your fastest lap. I'm going to cut most of it, but keep 2 tires on the inside of the line there to make it a valid lap. That is a 155.8 for you there. That's it for B. We're into C now, where we're in Group 3, and we're at Grand Valley Highway, a combo we have done. We last did it in July, of course, and we're back here once again. So what are we doing here? 9 laps here in Group 3. It's a rolling start. Racing medium tyres, you do have to pit at least once. You don't have to change those tyres, though. Times 3 fuel, times 6 tyre wear, and you can adjust quite a bit of the suspension as well. I do think setups will have a major benefit here at Grand Valley Highway. Now, I chose the BMW M6 for the race. I did the Supra in the time trial. The reason for the M6 is for the tyre wear, and we're going to have a look how it handles itself in the race. Right, here we are then at the start of the race. Hodgson starting in pole position there with Genesis in here. The Genesis can be very strong indeed. But remember, I chose the BMW M6 because I was worried about tyre wear. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. We do lots of different pieces of content on this channel. Gran Turismo and other racing games as well. That's been a little while, I know that. But yeah, lots of Gran Turismo content. As we go to turn 1 then, all nice and dandy here as we lead that corner. We've got Nath behind us. That's Laporte, who is right up my exhaust there as we continue on through here. So again, I chose this car to the tyre wear. I didn't know how fast it would be in the race. I don't think it's that quick here, the BMW M6, to be honest with you. But we're going to head in towards the braking zone then. We're going to slow it down here. And you can see up ahead, there's a BRZ who's just gone flying into Danny. And unfortunately, that's both of them taking out the race in the meantime. Laporte goes on my inside there, gets that position from me as well. So I only gained 1 position out of all of that as we head into the left. This tight technical section here, going into the right-hander then. Looking to slow it down here behind that Supra up ahead. We've got Shells behind in the Supra as well. I'll say I nearly chose that. I did my fastest lap in that Supra as well. As we continue on through here. And up ahead, we've got Inferno Fox, who's pointing the opposite way there in the Suzuki Vision Gran Turismo car. That's a daring choice, that car. It really is, because I know it's a handful. We'll have a look at what happened to Inferno Fox at the end, of course, with the bloopers. So we are up into P9 now as we continue on through here. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there on exit. And a lot of cars do suffer with that problem on that corner specifically. So you're going to have to be careful on that corner. Heading into the tunnel and the sharp right-hander here. We're going to slow it down right behind Mario Sonic then. Laporte up into P7 as we go into the left. Looking to slow it down here and be careful on exit here as well. You see the AMG. Oh, Mario Sonic getting all sorts of sideways here as we continue on. So, with the tyres and the pit strategy here, you have to pit at some point, okay? You don't have to change tyres. So I wasn't sure of the tyre weight at the time as we're looking to go past that Peugeot RCZ. So I was trying to decide what to do here. So Laporte goes in the pits. Mario Sonic is going a bit slow there in the AMG. So we're going to go past them as we head towards the start-finish line. So up into P6 here, probably P7 with Laporte in the pits as we go hard on the brakes. And Chelsea looking to get by Mario Sonic as well behind. Up ahead, we've got Cy Dobson. Shout out to you, Cy. We don't race you too often. And it's nice to see you in this race there in the Honda NSX. And we have done a car profile on that car, so make sure you check that out on the channel after this video. Right, through the right-hander, we're going to go here, looking to accelerate away. And Cy's just going to let me go here. I appreciate that, Cy, but we can always have a good race here as we are up into P5. A lap later, lap number 3 now, and we are catching up to David up ahead, but I decided to go in the pits here to avoid that traffic. Now, remember, you can pit when you want. I decided tyre wear wasn't that bad in this car at all, and I could avoid the traffic. Danny has obviously pit on the previous laps. Danny's ahead of me here, as is Laporte. They've really accelerated away there, so some of the racing action has slowed me down a little bit here. But here we see, again, if you avoid that traffic, so David and Mario Sonic, I believe, will have had a fight there. We jump them in the pits. As we go to lap number 6 here, we're back behind Cy here as we go into the tunnel. Cy just veers off to that left-hand side, so we're going to take that place. And I could tell what Cy wants to do there. Cy wants to go in the pits. But other than that, really, in this race, nothing really happens as we ran to lap number 9. I finished in P4 in the end, but everybody is absolutely everywhere. Now, this is the first race of the day, to be fair. The driver ratings were very varied in this race, and everyone's getting used to this track. This is a track you really have to warm up to as well. It's not a track you can just jump in and play and be top speed straight away. You really can't. So let me explain how to do this track first of all. And on the left-hand side, we've got the 300 board. That is my brake marker in Group 3 for Grand Valley Highway, okay? Especially on the racing medium tyres. So what you want to do is brake in a straight line towards the corner. You notice that it's going to straighten up, but I'm going to brake towards the corner now. Literally, because it's a hairpin, you want to V-shape it a little bit. As we go into here, we V8 a little bit. We're now going to stay tight. And we've got two choices here, okay? We've got the gravel going into concrete there, the first one on the right side, and the one above that is actually where there's a curb and a raised curb. You want to be accelerating on the first marker and you want to be full throttle on the second marker. They're two markers to keep in mind when doing this turn 1, okay? And that's what I'm trying to do here, to accelerate out of the corner. Be careful, power oversteer. You will suffer a little bit on exit, but we then accelerate down this hill then. So keep it towards left-hand side, opening up this corner as much as I can, really going for a late apex then, and then over towards left-hand side, keeping it nice and tight as we head in towards the 400 board on the left-hand side. Now, you want to be as far left as possible here because you want to get hard on the brakes and to really open this corner up quite quickly, but you're going to actually take a very tight line at the same time, okay? So we're going to stick left, hard on the brakes, and then we're going to go into the corner because it's cambered here. You can see the camber up ahead. So what we want to do then is turn in and keep it really tight. It just allows the car to stay very settled and no drastic weight transitions. And that's why we take that racing line there, okay? Heading in towards this double left. I'm going to call it a double left because that's essentially what it is. On the right-hand side there, we've got the concrete barrier. That is my first marker. That's my marker to start slowing down. So I'm going to start using the brakes. 25 to 50% braking. Not hard on braking here. Just 25 to 50%. And I'm going to slow the car down. And then I want to start accelerating through this part of the corner. The reason why I want to start accelerating there is because of the weight of the car and the power oversteer that can suffer from that. If you just suddenly go hard on the throttle while the weight's transitioning on that corner, you're going to have issues. Whereas if you slowly do it, it's absolutely fine. On the right side, you got those cliffs there. As the grass is about to end there on the right side that I've highlighted, that is your brake marker for this right-hander. Really chuck it in nicely so that you are in the middle of the road at the maximum. Otherwise, if you're further right, it's better. And then you've got these markers here. So on the left, you can either use that rocky face there on the left as it ends, or on the right is that post there, start of a fence on the right-hand side. That post is a really handy marker, actually. It's one I'm going to be using a lot more going forward. So I keep it tight here, and I want to straighten up as quick as I can on exit. Again, power oversteer, very common on the exit of that corner, so do be careful. Heading towards this left-hander, we've got the 100 board on the right-hand side there. Nice, easy brake marker. And this is one where you sacrifice this corner, okay? You're sacrificing the speed on this corner to maximize the speed on the next corner and the straight you're about to hit. So a tight line for this corner, okay, folks? A really tight line. Keep it as far left as possible. Left, 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 left. Notice I'm following that white line. And as I go into here, you've got yellow signs on the left-hand side. I don't use these, but it's exactly at that marker where you want to dab the brakes. And when I say dab, I mean a quick on the brakes, slow the car down. It might rotate it a little bit, which is what you want because you want to get on the inside line, okay? So use that on the left-hand side. As we go into this corner, we're looking for a late apex, as we're also looking for that sign there as your accelerating marker. I'm already on the throttle now, but you should be on full throttle as you get to that sign. If you're not, you need to improve on this to really maximize the speed through this corner. The problem with this, of course, is the exit, because this corner is very slippy on exit, and you do have to be careful. You can use a bit of the curb down exit before that barrier appears in your face. Next up, we've got the tunnel and the sharp right-hander. So as the fence starts to veer away here, okay, so it's been literally perpendicular, as in like for like, in terms of your line, up to this point. Then it starts to veer towards the left-hand side. That is your brake marker. It's just before the 100 board, which is why that's highlighted in there as well for you. But this is your brake marker as you go into this tunnel. Again, you want to keep a nice tight line for this one. V-shaping it doesn't really work, I've found. So there we go. We're keeping it nice and tight. And as we go into this left, dab of the brakes, want to get past the barriers before we clip the curb. Through there we go. We short shifted to avoid the power oversteer on exit on that corner. The amount of power oversteer you will suffer is big on that corner. So a nice short shift is going to benefit you in the long run because you can accelerate all the way to the line at this moment in time. You have no worries. So lots of power oversteer in this lap. You do have to be careful. I think setups are going to be big here, folks. They are really going to be big. So if you can get onto GT Planet, have a look at some of the setups on there. They may work out. I didn't use one here just for information. Let's get into some bloopers then. So what happened at Monza? Because I said one car had an incident, and this is that car. It's Idun 964. Hard on the brakes, a bit late on the brakes. Going to go towards that inside to try and avoid everybody. Looking to try and slow the car down, and goes into Darius as well. So it is their fault. All this is their fault. They don't wait up. However, they do suffer 9.5 seconds of penalties. 9.5, that's a big amount of penalties. Is it enough, though, is the question. Is it enough? So we're watching Idun slow down here, taking all those penalties, and still continuing. Everybody has gone past Idun now, pretty much. We've got one more person. So yeah, that penalty seemed justified and valid in terms of its strength there. This was the incident between me and Darius, of course. So Darius was giving me lots of room here and just came across a bit too much there. Pushed me onto the grass there, and I managed to hold it, thankfully. But I can see why it happened there. You pad player, so it's harder to actually get into a straight line. So all's good there. We're down here then. It's another dangerous corner, and you see the BLZ absolutely outbroke themselves. They did try and avoid everybody. Unfortunately, Danny did take a bit of a brunt of that force, but not too much, to be fair. Danny could continue racing, and they got a 5-second penalty as well. They actually left the race. Now, what happened with Inferno Fox then? Because we did see Inferno Fox going backwards, essentially. Leaving here then, clips the dirt a little bit in 4th gear, still getting wheel spin there, goes all the way round, and look at this for sportsmanship as well. Going to go hard on the brakes, lets everyone by, and then starts to make their maneuver to get back racing. Really awesome sportsmanship there, Inferno Fox. Really well played indeed. Now, Hodgson's going to demonstrate this corner, which is where a lot of oversteer can happen. As you leave that corner, you go on the throttle, and the car instantly wants to spin. And unfortunately, Hodgson becomes a victim there. We've got Pierre Gasly in P2 there as well, apparently. But who knows if that's a real one. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. And if you did like this video, give it a like. Now, there are 2 videos there to check out, of course. And there is other videos on the channel as well if you don't like any of those 2 videos. But, again, all the content is there for you to watch and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. And I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.